What if scientists went too far and accidentally ripped open something that they couldn't close? Across history, experiments with energy, physics, and the unknown have triggered bizarre events that left experts stunned. Some of these stories sound like science fiction, but they really happened. And they raise an unsettling question. Did we accidentally open portals we weren't supposed to? These are disturbing signs scientists might have done exactly that. Imagine being told the world might end because of one machine. In 2008, when CERN's Large Hadron Collider, LHC, in Switzerland was switched on, rumors spread that the giant particle accelerator could create microscopic black holes. Even scarier, some believed those holes could expand and swallow the planet. Scientists insisted the risk was non-existent, but they admitted that LHC could open up energy states we had never seen before. On opening day, people in multiple countries reported strange flashes in the sky near the collider. Some claimed electronics nearby glitched out all at once, and while no black hole devoured the Earth yet, the fear was enough that lawsuits were filed to stop CERN from running the collider. To this day, conspiracy groups argue that what CERN actually did was tear open tiny rifts in space-time, portals we haven't yet recognized. In 1943, a U.S. Navy destroyer called the USS Eldridge was reportedly fitted with experimental equipment to test invisibility using electromagnetic fields. The story goes that when the Navy turned it on, the ship didn't just vanish from radar, it disappeared entirely. Witnesses later claimed the Eldridge teleported hundreds of miles, reappeared, and that some sailors were fused into the ship's metal when it came back. Historians say this tale is exaggerated, but there's no denying that during World War II, the Navy did run classified experiments on radar stealth and electromagnetic fields. The terrifying idea here is that in trying to bend light and magnetism, they may have accidentally ripped open a momentary portal. Even if much of the legend is myth, the rumor refuses to die because too many elements of the experiment remain classified. During the Cold War, Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee was a hub for nuclear research. But in 1994, something deeply strange happened there. Workers reported a man in outdated clothing wandering the facility. Security tried to stop him, but he reportedly vanished into thin air. Later, an inspection of old photos from the 1940s supposedly revealed someone who looked just like him. This story has circulated among Oak Ridge employees for decades, and while skeptics call it folklore, Oak Ridge is one of the most heavily guarded science facilities in the US. Nuclear research often deals with extreme energy states. The fact that this story has persisted makes people wonder if experiments there briefly cracked open time itself, like a portal that allowed a person to slip through. Los Alamos National Laboratory in the 1940s was home to the Demon Core, a plutonium sphere responsible for two critical accidents that killed scientists Harry Daghlian and Louis Slotin. In both cases, slight miscalculations caused the core to reach near critical mass, releasing deadly radiation instantly. Witnesses described flashes of blue light and a sudden wave of heat as if space itself rippled. While the tragedies are well documented, some surviving workers later spoke about another detail. Tools near the core were said to have shifted positions without anyone touching them. Others claimed small objects vanished during the criticality events, never to be found again. If true, these bizarre details suggest the Demon Core might have briefly destabilized reality in its surroundings, almost like opening a micro portal where energy reached a threshold no one expected. In the 1970s, shortwave radio operators around the world began picking up a strange tapping noise on their receivers. It was dubbed the Russian Woodpecker. For years, no one knew what it was. Later, declassified documents revealed it came from a massive Soviet over-the-horizon radar system called the Duga Array, used for missile detection. But here's where it gets disturbing. Some researchers believe the system wasn't just radar. The sheer power it used 10 megawatts, was so extreme that it may have interfered with the ionosphere itself. Reports from that period describe bizarre auras, sudden compass failures, and even hallucinations in people living near the antenna fields. The Duga may not have opened a full-blown portal, but it clearly pushed Earth's atmosphere into strange, unexplainable behaviors. In 1908, a massive explosion flattened 800 square miles of forest in Siberia. The blast was so powerful that people hundreds of miles away reported strange, glowing skies for days afterward. While most scientists agree it was likely caused by a comet or asteroid exploding in the atmosphere, there are many unexplained details. Eyewitnesses report a beam of light shooting downward before the explosion. Magnetic readings taken afterward showed sudden anomalies similar to those near nuclear detonations decades before nuclear weapons existed. Some researchers suggested Tunguska was the result of a natural portal event where energy from space violently connected with Earth. The fact that no impact crater was ever found makes this one of the most mysterious explosions in history. In 2011, scientists at Fermilab in Illinois recorded neutrinos, subatomic particles, arriving at detectors in ways that made no sense. A few appeared to move faster than light, something thought impossible. If true, this would mean the particles were cutting through dimensions rather than traveling normally through space. The anomaly sparked headlines worldwide. While later studies suggested it might have been due to faulty cables, other physicists weren't so sure. The idea that neutrinos can oscillate between different states is well proven, and some researchers think those states could exist outside of our known universe. In other words, these particles may briefly vanish into a portal, then reappear in our detectors. If even one reading was real, it hints that portals might already exist at the quantum level. On Long Island in the 1980s, the US military ran experiments at Montauk Air Force Station using radar and electromagnetic waves. Locals began reporting bizarre phenomena. Dogs supposedly went wild, people blacked out without explanation, and there were claims of time freezes where individuals lost hours of memory. The official line is that Montauk was simply a radar station, but whistleblowers like Preston Nichols later claimed it was actually tied to experiments in time travel and interdimensional research. While much of this is controversial, the disturbing part is how many locals backed up claims of strange activity. Whether or not Montauk opened a portal, it remains one of the eeriest science facilities tied to rumors of tearing through reality. We are heading back to CERN for this one. In addition to black hole fears, scientists also worried about something called strangelets. These are hypothetical particles made of strange quarks that, in theory, could convert all surrounding matter into strange matter. That means if one were ever created, it could create like a chain reaction, spreading and transforming the planet into something unrecognizable. In 2015, after a particularly powerful LHC test, people in Switzerland reported strange cloud formations over the facility that looked like glowing rings. Photos spread online, fueling the idea that something unnatural had happened. While scientists dismiss the strangelet fear as overblown, the fact remains that we still don't fully understand all the particles created inside the collider. Even if nothing catastrophic happened, the possibility of triggering unknown states of matter feels like the closest thing to opening a door we cannot close. And finally, we have HAARP, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program in Alaska. Built to study the ionosphere, it has been accused of everything from controlling weather to causing earthquakes. The real science behind it involves blasting the upper atmosphere with powerful radio waves to see how it reacts. During some of the experiments in the 1990s, residents nearby reported bizarre glowing lights in the sky that looked almost artificial. Pilots claimed their instruments went haywire while flying over the region. Indigenous communities said said the sounds coming from the sky were unlike anything that they had heard before, and while scientists at HAARP maintain that it's harmless, the scale of the project and its effects on the atmosphere have led many to believe that it may have accidentally opened pathways for energy. Essentially, portals between Earth and something beyond. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.